back, ladies and gentlemen. It's week 2 of the NFL and Packers-Bears week. Jonny, Sam, Cory Sparks across enemy lines. We're back at it for another week. It should be a fun one. And we talk about, this NFL season just getting going and taking a look at week 1. What a mess that was, Cory. I mean, let's be honest. The Bears won, and they beat a very good Niners team.
That makes it a mess. The field was a mess.
It was a mess. That was a sloppy mess. That was a hurricane going through. How much rain did you guys get down there?
They were saying in the area, 6-7 inches. I mean, it looked like a little less than that on the field, but I mean, Roquan Smith's out there literally going oh, I'm swimming. It's like when I was a kid. Just water would go up my nose when I was in the pool, and I'm like, that is just crazy. That's football weather, though.
Well, is it? It's a lot of rain. I think snow's more football weather.
Snow's great. That LaShawn McCoy game where he just ran across everybody. That was probably.
We're not talking about LaShawn McCoy. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, let's do it. I mean, I have the same amount of passing touchdowns as Aaron Rodgers this year. So.
All right, I'll put the paper bag over my head for right now. I'll take the hit.
Week. Yeah.
Yep, for 1 week, we'll take the hit. Rodgers, he's riding the tricycle right now. He's got to take off the training or the bicycle, but he's got the training wheels on. They got to take them off, and I got a feeling they're going to unleash him week 2. But let's talk about week 1. Packers get upset, or not upset, I would say, but beat in bad fashion to the Minnesota Vikings. Not happy about it as a Packers fan. I don't think any Packers fan is. That's not the way you want to start. But I'm also not super mad about the way we started. I'm kind of a guy that likes to play my cards close to my chest. If I don't have to show my weapons week 1 and expose myself, I'll take that. I'll take that. And if we can, build on maybe some of these younger receivers, which I'm sure we will, they just have to get a little bit more experience, get a feel for Aaron Rodgers. I think this will be an effective offense, like I said last week. But Sparks, I'll let you have the floor. Your Bears won. They beat the 49ers. I give you an applaud.
Thank you.
But I didn't think they were. But I do feel bad for that 49ers fan that got his popcorn drenched. I think he should have got a refund from Soldier Field.
Yeah, that was interesting. I will say the little scene of everybody just sliding. Justin Fields let it, sliding in the rain, and then he jumps up on his 2 feet. And everyone's like, "Oh, that was a Marvel moment." I'm not a big Marvel guy, but that looked pretty cool. You called the Packers game though. You were worried about it. You said, "I don't like US Bank," and I was like, "Nah, the Packers they'll be fine." I know they don't have a whole lot of people out there. They didn't have Lazard, which is pretty big considering, Adams is already gone. They didn't have MVS. He's gone now. So, I mean, it was the Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs.
Again, I'm giving you the floor. I
like talking about a loss. They're both rare. The Packers losing and the Bears winning, but yeah.
The Bears winning.
No, run game was really good towards the end. Fields got out of the pocket and was actually able to threaten them a ton, and nobody could throw the ball, so I don't think Trey Lance was able to air it out on our secondary, which Jalen Johnson got hurt, so that's a good sign. And Elijah Mitchell got hurt, who was one of my fantasy running backs, so that hurt me a little bit, but also they couldn't get anything going with Jeff Wilson, so it was weird. No point. The Bears are just weird. They'll put up 19 points in, a quarter and a half, and then the first 2 quarters, they put up no points at all. So they're really streaky, not meant for offense at all, and it doesn't look like defense was going to be what they're going to be meant for this year either, but to start out in the first game and shut that offense down to 10 points, that did impress me. Even before the torrential downpours, I thought the first half was going to be 24-0 Niners, and 10-0 kept them in it. Offense snuck up on them. 2 blown coverage plays later, and we're 1-0, baby. We haven't lost in 9 months, so pretty cool.
You have 9 months because you didn't go to the playoffs last year.
No, but oh my bad. We beat the team that delivered the Packers their eliminating blow. That is just
that's what I thought you were gonna bring up.
By transitive property, the Bears are better than the Packers right now until they play.
Yeah, 49ers
beat Packers. Bears beat 49ers.
I understand what you're saying, but I think coming into week 2, I think there's going to be some shaky legs heading off that bus when they have to see Lambeau again. Nobody likes playing Lambeau, and especially not the Bears. When they come to town, it's a ruthless neighborhood.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. I am worried because the Packers are coming off a loss, and usually they do so.
I think Rodgers took a giant chip on his shoulder right now. Yeah. He wasn't happy in the game, and I like it when he's not happy because then he starts throwing darts. He doesn't throw lollipop footballs. It's not 50-50 ball. It's going to be 100% right in the receiver's hand, and it's going to be like a rocket coming out of his.
Yeah, and right into Christian Watson's hands. I mean, doesn't mean he's
Oh,
going to
that was
catch
a
it.
mess.
That doesn't mean he'll catch it. He can hit you right in the hands. You still got to catch it.
But let's talk about that throw for a second. How good was that throw?
That was beautiful.
That was vintage Rodgers.
That was beautiful. And Christian Watson, just, the first wide receiver picked in the draft by the Packers, just does that. But it was a very beautiful throw. We've seen many of those from Rodgers. You're supposed to rack those in. I
don't even count them anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't count them if I tried. There's too many.
Yeah, he was dealing with a lot. I mean, Justin Jefferson just cut up that secondary. I figured he'd have an okay day. They were playing zone on him, so it wasn't. A lot of people were saying Jair Alexander should have had him in jail. Okay, people, and this is coming from a Bears fan. It wasn't Jair Alexander and Justin Jefferson one-on-one pressing at the line. That's not how the Vikings played them. They played them in zone. Or that's not how the Packers played them. They played them in zone.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So I mean, it was more or less Jefferson just finding holes in the zone and then sprinting past absolutely everybody. I mean, everyone's like, how'd he get so wide open? It's just, that's tape, that's skill, that's amazing route running, and that's what Justin Jefferson has shown the last 2 years now.
Let them get their win week 1. Let them have their little parade.
I saw a video of right when they were going to shake hands and everything, Alan Lazard yelled in Justin Jefferson's ear. He said, "Yeah, you're up 1 game on the division," and then walked away. I'm like, all right. He's not happy. That's hunger, right? He's probably frustrated. He wasn't able to be out there and help his team at all. So,
well, Lazard is going to be one of the top dogs that obviously this year.
He's got to be. Yep.
For the Packers, but yeah, it should be a fun one. Talking about other games week 1, as we kind of mentioned, kind of a weird week. We saw the Titans lose. We saw the Bengals lose. We saw the Rams lose, which wasn't really weird, but taking a look at the list, it's just a laundry list of teams that probably shouldn't have lost, but lost. Mm-hmm. Some of those games. What do you think happened week 1? Why do you think they happen? Why do you think it happened? Just slow off the bench, just kind of getting off the winter jitters. What was going on?
All of that, and unless you have a combined practice with another team, you have no clue what they're bringing to the table. You can watch tape from last year, but it's new personnel. You've drafted first rounders that are going to jump into your offense or your defense right away. It's new looks, and those aren't things that you can just adjust to throughout a game if you get down in a 14-0, 17-0 hole, which actually, ironically, a lot of teams did and then came back and won. Titans being a perfect example. Everybody expected Derrick Henry to just plow over everybody. He got blindsided once. I mean, there's just a lot of unknowns coming into the year. You have no clue what rookies are going to bust out. Lots of new free agency moves. I mean, Russ went to a new home, and look at that. He couldn't even beat his old team. The 12th man
that was, yeah. And they when he came out, they started booing him.
That I don't understand. He brought you a Super Bowl.
That was a bit. That was a bit much, I thought, from Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, Packers fans are the same way. Once a player leaves, like Za'Darius, once a player leaves, we show very little love. But
right.
that's just
traded,
the way it is,
man. And Za'Darius was barking after he left, right? Russ has said nothing bad about Seattle. I'm like, you're really booing a man who had a huge part in your Super Bowl 7 years ago now?
All the part besides his defense.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, all you needed was someone to do their job on offense, and he did more than that. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I understood that, but case in point, right? On paper, he's not supposed to lose to that Seahawks team. They lost everyone. Wagner, gone. Carson, retired. Russ, on the other side. And it didn't matter. So, just a lot of unknowns. You're going to see everything start to even out soon, I think. Week 1 has always been kind of weird. I would never bet on week 1. I mean, I thought about it. I really did, because you said you were going to Oneida. And I was
put some bets, but yeah.
I was really worried. I'm like, what if something weird happens? And even in that, I would have never guessed that the Bears would win. I would have never guessed that the Seahawks, they were my favorite to go 0-17 this year. I mean, so lots of unknowns.
Without a doubt. Another player had a homecoming. That was Baker Mayfield.
Oof.
And
poor Baker.
Not what he was hoping for. Not what he was hoping for on the Carolina Panthers. Now he had to take on his Old Town Browns. And, Baker Mayfield, you almost got a feel for the guy. He had a chip on his shoulder, but he just couldn't do it. And I don't know what you say at that point. I haven't been in that scenario for a long time. When my quarterback has a chip on his shoulder, they usually win the game. Typically 9 out of 10, I've been born in 99. It's the Favre Rodgers era. And that's all I've seen. Yeah.
So spoiled.
You've seen a lot of numbers in your time.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
you're not that old. You're younger than I am.
I'm 01, man. I'm 01, and I've probably seen just as many. No, maybe. No, I haven't seen just as many quarterbacks I've had years, but it's close, man. I remember Rodgers had to try and name a ton of Bears quarterbacks over the years since he came into the league in 05, and he couldn't do it. Like
I couldn't do it.
there's so many to, yeah.
But anyways, we talked about Baker Mayfield heading back on topic. Not what he was hoping for.
No. That Browns defense is still pretty good. I mean, the wheels have fallen off. Obviously, you've got a quarterback roulette going now, and your guy is suspended for over half the year. They still have one of the best running games in the league, and I think you'd stand by that too. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are ridiculous. You can use them interchangeably. Both two-way backs, especially when you talk about Hunt out of the passing game. They still have David Njoku. They still have Myles Garrett on the other end. They still have Denzel Ward. It's just a lot of their other cornerstone pieces are gone. One of them, Baker, was supposed to be the guy, first overall 4 years ago now, and now he's gone. I know he wanted that win, and I knew.
Oh, yeah, he wanted that one.
I knew he was going to go out there with a vengeance, and then I hear, Terry Bradshaw at halftime going, Baker's doing what he's been doing for the last 4 years. He's throwing to his Browns teammates, but they're not teammates anymore. I was like, don't say that. But there he was, throwing a pick in the first half. So just struggles, new team. I think a lot of
is it new team or is it just a poor accuracy? I thought Baker would have a chance.
I would say poor accuracy too.
I liked him because he reminded me kind of, not as talented, but similar to Favre where he just kind of throws it.
He's a gunslinger. Yep.
Yep. And I know Coward didn't like him coming in, he had a lot of opposition towards him, but I thought he would prove himself, and he really hasn't. And frankly, I can't blame the Panthers if they start Darnold because Baker has not found it.
Yeah, it's too early to say that, but I mean, if he doesn't get it together, I mean, this Panthers team is tired of being bottom feeders. I think Coach Ruley is now he's going to be on the hot seat. So,
yeah.
I mean, they've gone through Bridgewater, they've gone through Darnold, they had PJ Walker out there for a bit. They said, hey, Cam, come back for a homecoming. I mean, they are trying everything. And yeah, I don't think Baker's very accurate. Look at the wide receiving core he had over the course of a couple years in Cleveland. They brought Odell over there, one of the best route runners when healthy. He had Jarvis Landry there as well. You had Austin Hooper and David Njoku. Yeah. I mean, so many. And you've got two passing backs. So if all else fails, you can.
So it's on him, right?
I think it's on him. I mean,
I think so too.
Unless he had a transformative offseason, I don't think we're going to see anything different. I think he downgraded in wide receiving core. Now if he went back to Cleveland, it'd be worse from what he had, though. Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. to DJ Moore is very solid. Robbie Anderson has disappeared off the face of the earth. I mean, I think he definitely got a downgrade, so he's not going to get better.
Well, let's remember when everybody was saying Cleveland has a chance at the Super Bowl, and I was
one. No, 2 years ago.
I was like, no, they don't.
2 years ago, they looked great, man. Stefanski's
they
over
did.
there.
Yeah, they had weapons.
Yeah.
But it just did not pan out.
It's rough. It is rough.
We got to get to the subject we're all thinking about.
Oh boy.
Don't do the oh boy. You guys are 1-0. We're not. We're 0.
2 behind us in all-time wins now.
I know.
So it can't happen. It can't happen this week.
But it can happen at Soldier Field.
No,
we lost every game after winning against the Bears this week.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
Nah, it's not going to happen like that. We're going to get it week 4. No, you guys will pick up a win.
Maybe.
I like how you bit your lip there.
I'm like, maybe he's right, but can I really fold over while I'm in a Justin Fields jersey right now? I don't know.
You can fold like a lawn chair when you're in Justin Fields jersey. Now, when you're in this kind of jersey that has some establishment, this is a nice, maple wood chair. It's a good, solid, sturdy wood made out of oak.
Oh yeah, that oak has as many passing touchdowns as you and I, Johnny. So I'm feeling good about it.
Keep bringing that up because I got a little surprise here, and I'm gonna pop off my headphones for just a second.
Oh great, this is great.
Because the sheriff's back in town, baby.
That's
the
disgusting.
Sheriff is back in town.
That is disgusting. For you listening on audio, whatever podcast platform you're listening to, Johnny just threw on a nice trusty cowboy hat for me. So.
Yep, because the sheriff is back in town, baby.
That's great.
He got wronged last week. He's going to be back this week, and he's going to take it out on your Bears.
We'll see. We'll see if Christian Watson can catch the balls, but I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be a decent game, but I am a little worried that Aaron Rodgers is coming into a game against the Bears already angry. And we saw the Saints game last year and how they responded. So
it's unfortunate it's not at Soldier Field because then he can't release his anger when he scores and say, "I own you."
that my hate started going away. I was just so used to him being dominant, and then he opened his mouth at Soldier Field, and I'm like, okay. Apparently, some fans gave him the bird, so that kind of he said, "I saw red." After that, still not a.
I don't think he needs to explain himself.
I tried to.
I know he did, but that's just him being nice. That's called the Midwest nice.
Yes, I guess the Cali man has learned some Midwest tendencies. I don't know. But okay, Packers Bears. What do you wanna cover?
Well, I'm just here to talk with you as another day, and it's the oldest rivalry I believe in the NFL, and what for a Bears fan, what does it mean going into this week when you know you're going against the Packers?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say when you know you're gonna lose. Okay, that was good job. Good job.
Oh,
I have
no,
certain expectations just from what you're gonna say. I'm guessing it, and you're impressing me right now. What does it mean?
Then I could just say any other week.
Right? Yeah. No. Goodness. Except last week. Remember we were on this 2 days ago.
Except last week.
You're like, it's a given. I already knew they're gonna lose. That's not even debate. And I agreed with you, but no more.
Because it's the Bears.
It's a new year. Yeah, the Bears are 1-0. So what does this mean? It's a stepping stone. It's measuring yourself against one of the best teams in the NFL, even without Devontae Adams. And you got to go into their house. So I think it's a huge test. Justin Fields went 8 for 17 last game, and a lot of people are saying it was torrential downpour, and it was raining the entire game. So I think it's time to see what does he do in a better environment. I don't think it's supposed to rain in Lambeau Sunday. I see Saturday maybe. So maybe a bit of a wet field, but it's got a whole day to dry. It's a true testament, and we're going to try and see how much did Justin Fields improve over the offseason, because it's hard to see anything when the field's underwater. So, and it's against a great secondary, so he has to be smart. He's got to look people off coverage. He can't throw into double coverage. There's no guys on our team who are going to fight over a 50-50 ball and consistently come away with it. Our number one guy is Darnell Mooney. He's like 5'11". So, yeah, he's got to be smart. We got to rely on the run game. I think that they did a lot better, the Bears did last week, when they got Justin Fields out in the open and threatened in terms of his legs. Like, hey, he could run, so bring your linebacker out of coverage and leave someone else open. So this is a huge measuring game for the Bears. I mean, the rivalry's up, of course. It's always an intense game. They just want to stay in this one and try and give the Packers a hard time. So that's what I think it is.
And for me, I will have to say it is one of those, let's say, games where you have to establish your dominance. You got to show who the big brother is.
Yeah.
And if you don't show that, it's not going to be a good game. If we don't win by more than a touchdown, I will be disappointed.
I think they're going for the blowout, definitely. And that
I think they're coming full
me.
head of steam. Yeah, it's got to concern you, Mr. Sparks.
I mean, we'll see, man. I don't know. We don't have a Justin Jefferson, but I'm curious to see if the Packers man up, because we don't have the best wide receiving core. Or if they go back, play zone, and then if it's zone, I mean, Fields.
I don't know why they wouldn't play man. I don't know why they wouldn't play man. Test your corners. Test your D-backs.
Mm-hmm. We'll probably see some more Cole Kmet. He had no catches, so he's a bigger body who can box some people out.
I think Tunyon's going to get back in it a little bit this week. I want to see Amari Rodgers get some touches.
Yeah.
That's one of the big discussions this week. What I see is just like what he played at Clemson, is running that deep post on a play-action pass. Lawrence did it all the time. And I want to see if Rodgers can connect, because I think he can be a really good receiver, but he just needs to put in the right situations. I know people are also talking about putting him in as almost like a Ty Montgomery or, a running back wide receiver, kind of like a Deebo Samuel.
Toss him in the slot once in a while.
Yep. Just to mix things up. I'm not mad at that. I think that's a good option too, but I think he's got pretty good speed. And he's, he played with good quarterbacks that could throw the ball deep. So I think we can test out our waters a little bit, because I think, Rodgers is one of the best at the play action. He hides the ball. He holds it well. And, even on some of his handoffs, like, it seems like he's still holding the ball. buys it so much, and he does the, kind of loops out.
Right, he tucks his shoulder over it. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if you see them run the ball a lot too, though. AJ Dillon had a really nice game
Yeah,
despite of what everything that happened, but he got their only
and
touchdown.
let's not dismiss Aaron Jones.
Mhm.
He had a good game. Yes, he is getting paid a ton of money to play, but we got to use him more.
Yeah.
You gotta utilize him. So I know a lot of people are upset with the running yards and that sort of thing, but they got to get their touches. They got to find out how the line's working. I know our line is weak right now, and I think it will be weak after what that video emerged of Bakhtiari appeared to tweak something in his knee.
Yeah.
But I definitely think this week it'll be a testament for the Packers to see what this new team can do on the receiving core and what our defense is capable of doing. Because I think we're a lot better than what we showed. It was kind of like the Saints game when we opened up last year. Jameis Winston absolutely cooked us, and there was nothing we could do.
Yeah, that was a weird game. He had like 5 touchdowns, but it was like 160 yards. So they just would go down to the red zone. It would be Alvin Kamara time, who has had their number like the last couple of times he's played them. And then Jameis would just find somebody in the red zone, which...
Crab legs.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So what about score predictions? I'll let you start with that. I feel like you said they got us. I know they're going to go for the blowout. They're going to be swinging like absolute haymakers.
Oh, they're going to be throwing heavyweight punches this weekend.
I wouldn't be shocked if Christian Watson runs a post and they try it again on us just for the heck of it.
Just to embarrass the Bears. I guess I'm in the ballpark of... I'd like to see us score a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if offense is at that point where on command, Rodgers is like, we're gonna run this. I'd be happy if I see 28 for the Packers. And Bears wise, I hope the defense picks things up. They were kind of out of the loop. Jefferson cooked them pretty bad, like a scrambled egg. But we need to. If we let up 2 touchdowns to the Bears, I wouldn't be disappointed. It's a step in the right direction. Fields is playing well from that week 1 game. But we'll have to, it's a testament to see what we can do and what you guys are capable of doing.
You're thinking 28-14. Yeah, I do think we'll see a lot of the run game like with the Packers, just because I think AJ Dillon, I've been saying this for a couple of years, and I think we're still a year or 2 away from Aaron Jones' contract expiring. AJ Dillon's a lot better of a pass catcher than he ever has been. He didn't do it in high school, didn't do it at Boston College at all, didn't do it his rookie year, and then his second year, he slowly started to become a guy who, hey, it could be a fake handoff. He can go down for a check down, and if there's nobody there, he can make some people miss, and if he makes contact with someone, they're probably going to go down instead of him. He's a pretty big dude. Quadzilla. He's called that for a reason. So, especially if you're a mascot. So.
Yeah, he's got the legs, and he's a good back. He's a good back.
So one thing I will say is I think the Bears are playing a team that hasn't developed anything on offense yet, like you said. That's why they only had 1 touchdown. So I think they'll be able to take advantage of that. Not a whole lot of chemistry with that wide receiving core quite yet. We'll see if Lazard comes back. I'm not sure if you know the status on him, but I'm going to say Bears 27-24. We'll start 2-0.
Okay. All right. I respect that. Never bet against your own team. It's always been my motto. Let's circle back real quick to week 1. I forgot to mention this, but let's talk about the injuries. We had a number of injuries. What team? Let's go. I'll have you run through some of the injuries. We'll talk about which one's going to be the most impactful.
Yep, TJ Watt over in Pittsburgh, torn pectoral. I believe he's out roughly half the season. He's already had his surgery and he's recovering. Dak Prescott fractured his thumb. He'll be out for a handful of games. Elijah Mitchell is going to have surgery on an MCL or knee sprain. He'll be out about 6 to 8 weeks. Those are big. Okay, is it just me or does a 49ers running back get hurt at the beginning of every year? Wasn't it Raheem Mostert last year or 2 years ago? That one always throws me off.
They do. They also had Frank Gore for a lot of years who never got hurt.
Right. And ever since he's left, I feel like whoever fills in, it's just they're hurt for a little bit or right off the bat. So I don't know. You said the impacts. I think Dak hurts a lot. People give him a lot of flack, but that team did great last year. I know they lose Amari Cooper. Is Cooper Rush going to be the guy? I mean, he has little to no in-game reps. and they looked lost as soon as Dak was out of there. Not that they were doing anything against the Bucs to begin with, but I think that one hurts the most, to be honest with you.
See, I think the one that hurts the most is probably TJ Watt.
Okay.
That defense needs him, and I think without TJ, they lose a whole element. They lose that putting the fear in the quarterback on the other side, because TJ has been all over the place. He's one of the best. He's probably the best pass rusher right now in that argument. But when you lose a pass rusher like that and you're relying on somebody else to fill in that spot, that means your secondary, your linebackers all have to fill in and try to play better than what they have been, because now they've dropped down quite a bit because they lost, the top 5 pass rusher in the league.
Yeah, and I'd give it to him because he tied Strahan's record in less games last year. I know they've got Minka on the back end, so I think the secondary will be all right, Joe Hayden, but that's going to hurt a lot too. And then you look at the 49ers, I feel like it's just a next man up mentality. Shanahan knows how to build that run game, for goodness sakes. He has Debo getting significant carries now, so all respect to Elijah Mitchell, but I think they'll be able to fill that gap in pretty quick. So, yeah, lots of injuries. I know a couple years ago when there was no preseason, we saw a lot of injuries at the beginning. It was right once COVID kind of started coming in and they still wanted to have a season, no fans. But there was a full-fledged preseason here, and we still had some pretty significant injuries early on.
All right, let's move on. We had kind of covered that. We're going to go to Jerry Jones.
Everybody's favorite.
He's had a rough start. He's 0-1, and his quarterback's hurt. What's going through his mind right now?
Let me hope that Mike McCarthy can find some stability with these guys. Your guy McCarthy, right? Let me hope that he can gather these troops together and get them to string some wins, because Dak Prescott.
He's another guy. He's another guy that has no love in Green Bay, but he still has a street named after him.
Yeah, he does have McCarthy Street. It's going to be tough. They got to go up against the Bengals, and then they kind of get a break. They go Giants and Commanders. So maybe those
That's
last
AFC
two.
East.
Yeah.
Or NFC East, yeah.
NFC least. So I would say, I mean, you can, I think you can get away with those second and third games with your backup quarterback, possibly, if they lean heavy on Zeke and Pollard. But we'll see. I mean, Jerry Jones is probably panicking a little bit. I know it's early,
Jerry Jones is probably finding another hand to put on Dak Prescott to get it fixed. Knowing him, he'll snap a finger and somebody will donate their hand, because Cowboys fans are desperate for a winning season, and they're desperate for that Super Bowl.
They're desperate for a playoff win too, man. It feels like every time they have a good or a solid, or even more than a solid regular season, they go in and they get first rounded. So happened against Seattle a few years ago, and now last year it happened against the 49ers. So yeah, he's panicking. I think that heart rate's up a little bit.
Well, he's got a horse's heart sitting if his heart fails.
He's got those resources, you think?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. It's probably in dry ice and some, ice. Just to preserve it, just to keep her alive. And
there's a picture.
Jerry Jones. I wouldn't be surprised if he lives longer than I do. Got different medical status than I do.
So he doesn't have a hit out for you or anything. He's just going to live to like 170. Okay.
Yeah, he's just going to live to like 180, sitting in that chair, and just, conduct his business from there.
And hopefully he'll have a ring by then. But with the Cowboys' luck as of late, who knows, right? So maybe not. Maybe he won't have a ring in this modern day.
And Zeke keeps going downhill.
Zeke does not look good. I mean, he had an okay start.
Did you even put him in top 5?
Not right now. No, absolutely not.
Top 10?
10, I'd give him fringe. I mean, it's
Okay.
JT and Henry up at the top. I think Joe Mixon deserves some recognition for being up there. Alvin Kamara, when healthy. Look at what Saquon did in his first, honestly, I think, healthy game in a while. I know he starts 2 or 3 games a year and then fizzles out, right? Yeah. I think they overuse the crap out of him. That's my opinion. They abuse him. Same with the same with the Panthers and McCaffrey. You're just getting a guy back from an ACL injury. Please, please, please ease him in and don't give him 30 touches. I think Saquon's got to be up there too, along with CMC, and there's 6 right there. So Zeke's definitely not top 5. I would give him maybe fringe top 10 because he's still a great back. He could still put some people over, but I think he's lost his step for sure.
Yeah, I'd put him in the same category as well. His rookie season, he was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
coming out of A&M, and he just like
Ohio State actually. Buckeyes.
Oh, Ohio State. Excuse me.
He's a dog in Ohio State. I remember that. He ran all over the
Yep.
Badgers, 52-0 in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
That's classically conditioned, Johnny. I watched all 3 hours of that game. That was not fun.
But nonetheless, Zeke, he's been on a steady decline, and eventually he's got to figure out how to pull those gears back and start getting that nose back up if he wants to get back up into the top 5 in most people's book.
Absolutely.
Moving on, take a look at the heading again. Now we're going to switch back to week 2. The Lions are favored for the first time since November 22nd, 2022. They play the Commanders this weekend. I thought that was an interesting stat. Or not 2022,
2020.
excuse me.
I got you.
2020. And, as a Lions fan, what does that mean? Does it mean anything? I mean, you've been kind of the trash can of the NFC North for a long time. You got to get tired of it, and this is probably just a little glimmer of light that feels good.
You're getting some respect from Vegas, right? The betting odds. You're playing a Commanders team that could beat a top 10 team one week and then absolutely botch everything the next. I think that's a compliment. I think it's well-deserved. Maybe it's the Hard Knocks documentary, right? Maybe everybody's watching Dan Campbell fire those guys up, and they're like, hey, I think they'll do well. But no, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown had a great second half to last season. DeAndre Swift just blew up in week 1, and they put up a fight against an Eagles team that, 1, made the playoffs last year, and 2, got better with having a top 10 wide receiver in A.J. Brown. I think they earned some respect in week 1, and I think it was well-deserved. So, yeah, I think it's a sign of good things to come. We've been talking about the Lions rebuilding for a while, but I think they are actually doing the building part of rebuilding. I think they're getting better for once.
They're a tough win, actually. Mm-hmm. I always say that. Even when we play them, I would say they're a team that they don't give up. They never give up, and they play 4 quarters, and they're just a team that is resilient, I would say. And I think Dan Campbell has established that in that team, or reinforced that, because he's kind of that same way as a coach.
Yeah, he's got a lot of firepower. You can see him yelling at the guys. He calls them great young men every time he talks about them. He cares about the locker room atmosphere, and he definitely contributes to it. He wants to win. I mean, that team only won a couple of games last year, but they went up against a great Ravens team, and it took Justin Tucker to hit a game winner from a record distance to beat them. Like you said, they're a tough win. Like, you're not going to see a whole lot of teams blow out the Lions, and even if they do, you're going to see that team fighting just as hard down 40 as they would if it was tied. So they work hard, absolutely.
They absolutely do. And Cory and I are on this long quest. We are trying to find a Lions fan.
It's not going well.
It hasn't gone well. So if you do listen to the podcast or watch it, reach out to us. And if you're a Lions fan,
or if you know one,
get in contact, or if you know one, yeah, we want to get in contact with you because we're both stuck. We don't know Lions fans. We know Vikings fans. I know pretty much every other team's fans. I can't find a Lions fan that saved my life. It's the holy grail search for a Lion fan.
We'll do some challenges. We're nice people. We won't be mean. There hasn't been exactly a rivalry between the Lions and anybody. So we'll be nice. We're pulling for you.
We're always friendly. We're always friendly people. But yes, we are searching for a Lions fan because we want to see if there really is a Lions fan out there.
Just 1 second, we'll be nice to you. The next second, I'm not sure if there's any of you out there because your franchise is so sorry.
Yep, I'm the meaner one. Sparks is more nice.
I'm trying to reel him in with a little sales pitch, and Johnny's like, yeah, your franchise is so garbage. There's probably like 2 of you out there, and we can't find either of you. That's okay.
Well, typically they have a paper bag over their head with 2 holes cut in it.
The Orlovsky days, yeah.
So we talk about week 1. Again, we're just kind of mixing in week 1 and week 2. And what team had the best first impression from the week 1 games?
I'll start with the Chiefs because when you lose a guy like Tyreek Hill, a lot of question marks come up. I didn't think Patrick Mahomes was going to have a bad game, but they blew out the Cardinals, 44-21. Travis Kelce obviously
Cardinals are a solid team.
The Cardinals were a playoff team last year, yeah, and they've got they didn't have DeAndre Hopkins in that game, but they did lose Chandler Jones, but you've still got Kyler Murray, who's trying to prove himself to be great. You've got James Conner. I think that I think that blowing that team out, having 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, was just the message that Patrick Mahomes was trying to send. And that's, you could take some guys out of my wide receiving core, but I'm still going to sling it. I'm still going to cut up your defense. It really doesn't matter. I still have, in my opinion, the best tight end in the game. They have plenty of weapons. So the Chiefs impressed me a lot.
Yeah, and I'm going to go on and another AFC team from the, we're going to go to the AFC North. And I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. They played a Super Bowl winning team, and they showed them who was boss. And so much so that their former player wants to join them in the 2022-2023 season. But that's also Odell Beckham, who, I have very little respect for because I think he's just ring chasing at this point in his career.
Yeah, I mean, he was just on the Rams, right? Got his ring. Had a really good performance. Yeah, he was talking to Von Miller in the offseason saying he wanted to go there. And then he was at the game and he started tweeting. First, he was like, Coop, because he was talking about Cup. And then because he got the touchdown. And then as the game started to get out of hand, he goes, "Oh, Bills Mafia."
But you see how the teeter-totter shifts with him.
Yeah, he was at that game for a reason. I think he was doing some scouting. And I'm sure one of those teams will bite once he's healthy. But again, we had that conversation. He won't be healthy for a while. So he's not signing a contract for a couple months if he does at all this year.
Yeah, I don't know if I was a GM, I'd sign him. And we talked about this last week. I don't like his attitude. Again, Russell Westbrook of the NFL for my sake.
Although I have heard I forgot what I saw, but he's bought his teammates a bunch of things once he comes in. I think he's nice
you can
to them,
buy all the things you want.
I understand he's a hothead though. He does come off as a hothead. He had the whole kicking net thing. Yeah.
Well, that's not even what I'm worried about. It's just what we talked about. He's tweeting about Cooper Kupp, and then he's tweeting, "Oh, I want to join the Bills."
Hey, he is a free agent, Johnny. He's making his pitch.
Pick a team, baby. And you know what? I would have more respect for him if he would have. Now this is all dependent on the Rams, re-signing him and that sort of thing. Stick with the team and try to win it again with that same team. Don't try to run around and find another team. That's garbage. Mm-hmm. You can do that all you want, but I don't think it established you as great of a player as people like to make it out to be.
I think he's a good raw talent, but like you say, he's not well-rounded, and now he's 2 ACL injuries in, so you start asking those questions. And I don't know the details between him and the Rams.
I think he's going to have a peg of a leg.
Okay.
Running routes. He's going to be 2 ACL tears, and he's one of the best route runners. No longer. He will be, I think, a rudimentary or he'll still be good.
He's a super.
Do I think he's going to be? Do I think he's going to be top 5? No.
No, not top 5.
Do I think he's going to be top 10? No. Okay. Maybe in the top 15, but at the bottom of that.
That's fair.
But I don't put him because I think 2 ACL tears is just a lot of repairs. You can fix a tire, but eventually you're going to have to get a new tire. And you can't get a new leg.
He could. His football season will be, or career.
Have you ever tried to patch a tire? Never patch a tire.
I just had my tire patched. Johnny is so great.
Just get a new tire.
It's only $40.
Yeah, $40. 2 more months, it's leaking air.
Great. Just great. I'll send you that text when that happens because I just patched a tire. So you've got me thinking all types of things right now.
Oh, don't worry about it, folks. I'm sure you did a phenomenal job and went to a phenomenal place. But I'm talking ACLs. We're not talking tires.
Yeah, you're talking his leg. I know. It's an analogy.
Yep. I'm just talking legs, and legs are a lot harder to repair than a tire.
This is true.
Yep. But Odell, not a big fan of him. Never will be. Don't think he's got that. He can, win games, obviously, by going to different teams, but does he have that championship attitude that you want? That guy that'll stick through it. Kind of like Tim Tebow when he played at Florida. Mm-hmm. He lost that game. He was embarrassed. But then he comes back, wins the national championship. That's the kind of player I want on my team. Not a guy that's going with the win, whichever way the team's playing, and then he kind of leaves and goes to that team.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like a lot of people are I feel like a lot of free agents are doing that, and they're making it known. There's always been a stigma, and there still is one, as you're saying right now, of ring chasing. But now you're seeing so many guys just be open and honest, and they're like, yeah, here's my list. I would like to play for a contender. It's like, okay, all right. So that is kind of interesting. And obviously Odell is doing that. And I think his list is whoever's at
It's
the top.
two teams, probably,
It's
yeah.
probably those two teams who are playing.
And that's probably why he's there.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has the mentality to stick it out and really win a game. So taking a look at week 2, we look at the other teams in the National Football League. And we start with the, Dolphins and Ravens. That'll be a good one, I actually think. The Jets, Browns, Commanders, Lions, Colts, Jaguars, Buccaneers, Saints, Panthers, Giants. A lot of good games. Patriots, Steelers. That one I want to talk about a little bit. Patriots, Steelers. Patriots are 0-1, and Steelers are 1-0. What do you think of that game? Because I guess I doubted the Steelers, so I'm just want to see what they can really do.
They almost blew that game. Both teams kept blowing that game over and over. I don't know if you saw that overtime.
You know what almost means? I learned this a long time ago from my Little League coach. Means you didn't.
Yeah, no, that's true. They didn't blow that game. But a lot of like missed field goals in overtime by both sides. It was weird. I think this is a close one, but let's see where it is. I don't know. I don't know, Johnny. I'm gonna say because it is in Pittsburgh. I think the Steelers keep it rolling, but the Patriots, they went up against a tough Dolphins team. It's kind of hard to cover Tyreek Hill. I personally wouldn't want to do it. And the fact that professionals can't do it very well either shows a lot. Tua didn't have the best game, but he definitely silenced a couple of his haters, myself included. I think they're just getting Tyreek Hill involved and in ways that will benefit both sides, him and Tua. He's one of the only guys who can break a 5-yard screen for a touchdown anytime he wants to. So I think he's going to be, I think that Steelers team, Mitch did okay. He kind of coasted through the second half. But
Comeback player of the year. Comeback player of the year.
I think he could do it. I mean,
he could. I'm not denying that fact.
You've got Najee Harris, who is questionable right now. If he plays, he'll be good. The TJ Watt thing hurts a lot, but I do think that the Patriots had a tough training camp. Mac Jones apparently did not look very good. I don't think he looked very good in week 1 from what I saw either. So, I mean, the quarterback is supposed to be the bread and butter of your team. I know they're supposedly built on the run. Damian Harris didn't have that good of a game either. So there's just a lot of parts that weren't coming together. I think the wheels are very, very, very slowly falling off for the Patriots again. We'll see. They got Devontae Parker. We'll see if he can stay healthy. He's had some injury issues, but I'm going to say Steelers take it.
The wheels falling off for the Patriots. I don't think that'll ever happen. The Empire.
Slowly.
The Empire in Star Wars never gets exposed. And you have Emperor Palpatine sitting on the sideline with his hood up. He's ready to shock people in what his team can do because he'll find a way with whoever it is. Play 60 kids, he can put them out there and make them look good. Belichick is the best coach, I think, in the modern football day.
Okay.
Because he adapted from an older school of football. And now he's in the 2020s, and he's still winning games.
Yeah.
The guy's been with the Patriots forever. He's, and he doesn't. The thing about him is he doesn't rush to make any big changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's either he must just talk to his players and just be like, "Hey guys, we lost the game. Let's get back in it."
That's probably what it is. He's a pretty monotone guy.
You've seen the Family Guy where he's got a smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, to win games again.
Mm-hmm.
But they have to make him smile.
I feel like the dynasty is definitely over though. Like they missed the playoffs with Cam. Okay, that's 1 year. Then they come back. They get first rounded. Cam was not good. Cam is not good. Cam's retiring very soon. I'm like waiting to see it. But then they come back. I know it's a rookie quarterback. They get first rounded. Johnny, the last time they won a playoff game was that Super Bowl win against the Rams, the really boring one. That was low in scoring, which I thought was fine. I like defense, but that was the last time they won a playoff game. So we're going on 4 years now.
He's also given a box of scraps and having to make do out of that.
Yeah, no, he's a great coach. I just don't know if they win this game, and I don't know if they continue to go back to winning playoff games, just given like the guys they have right now. J.C. Jackson, one of the best interception. He was almost an interception leader in the league if it wasn't for what Trayvon Diggs did last year. I mean, they lost that. I don't know.
I think the Patriots will find a way. I never doubt him. I never, as I was younger, I never doubted him. And for those of you wondering when I did this, that's a Superman that Cam used to do. And now Superman has turned into Clark Kent.
Oh, good enough.
And now he looks like he's a better fit for an office job. Boom.
God.
Boom, roasted.
Boom, roasted. Oh, we had a little Twitter battle earlier today. This morning.
Yeah, we certainly did.
Said we can't agree on anything, and I said, well, we can agree you're 0-1, and then you told me you had a prize in store for me, and I'll be
No, you got to start at the very beginning.
That was it. We can't agree on anything. Or you said you can't agree with anything the Bears organization does.
Yeah, and I said absolutely not. LOL. Tag Cory Sparks. He tweets back what he tweeted,
So
and then I said, "Yep." And then I tweeted back, "It'll be nice when you guys go back to wearing paper bags over here."
We've got it. I don't know. I don't think we're paper bag bad, but
paper bag bad.
I think they got pretty close last year. 6-11.
6-11.
1-0 now.
Oh, hold that one near and dear. I might make you a plaque for that. But let's talk about this new thing we did this week, and that's origin stories.
Yeah.
I'll let you take a lead on that. I'll just give a little background. We had a survey, and Cory actually created a survey or a poll, and he had some of his followers tell them how they became Packers or Bear fans. And Cory, take it away. Let's see some of these, or hear some of these stories.
Yeah, poll results were not shocking at all because all my friends are up here in northern Wisconsin, so it was like 65-35 Packers. It was 90-10 for a bit, Johnny. It was bad, and then some of my Bears fans came in and, came back. So we got 5 responses we'll look at. We'll start with Guyon, since you're letting me control this. We'll start with Guyon. This one's kind of interesting. I like this one a lot. So he said, well, my uncles are Packers fans, and we used to bet $1 on the Bears versus Packer games. So I stayed with the Bears. I'm not Guyon, we're both Bears fans. You probably lost a few dollars.
I was going to say, you lost a lot of money.
You probably lost some money there. I like the persistence, I guess. I mean, he's from Chicago, too, so I'll add that in there. So it's kind of like, how do you go against, the place
if you're going into a losing bet, might as well be on your own team.
Oh, my. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a gap between when I was in 4th grade and college where the Bears beat the Packers like twice. So, Guyon, you probably lost some money there, but the fact that you're willing to stick it out, I think says a lot.
And share his story.
Yeah, like he's been traumatized.
It sounds like a pretty traumatizing betting experience.
Yeah.
So, Guyon, I do not know you, but I would love to meet you, and I feel sorry for you. You got to bet the Pack. Go, Pack, go.
All right, so that's Guyon. We'll go to Chandler next.
Oh, boy.
Chandler. So Chandler said, we worked with Chandler, mostly radio station, TV station on our campus. He said, grew up in America's Dairyland. My family consists of green and gold followers. All I know is 4 and 12. That just brings it back. You guys are so spoiled. That's 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. That's ridiculous. In a row.
We're not spoiled. We're just
spoiled. That is spoiled. Name another franchise that said 2 in a row like that. I don't know if you can.
Can't.
I mean, the close one would... No, it wouldn't be. Drew Bledsoe got
Colts.
Andrew Luck's going to be close. Andrew Luck's going to be really close. Because what did he do in the playoffs? I think he had a couple wins.
The problem is he ended his career short.
You know what sucks is as soon as he left, great O-line. One of the best O-lines in the league. And that's the reason he left, for his health. He wanted to be safe. He wanted to spend time with family.
And I respect that, but I think, yeah, like you said, if he would have stuck another 3 years, Colts would be a dominant team.
Yeah. Oh,
let's keep it going.
The O-line is their strength. So we'll go to Heather. From Illinois, watched and cheered for them my whole life. Nice and simple. I love Bears fans. We stick it out together. So.
Oh, you guys are just simple and bliss.
Yeah, we're just simple and bliss. So thank you for that, Heather. Oh, I think this was your favorite too, Johnny. We'll go to Needy Patel. Not sure. I was just taught to hate the Bears at a very early age, but I guess
that's the way it is.
But I guess that's normal growing up in Wisconsin. Did I not just read the definition of brainwash right there? Yeah, that's brainwash. That's taught to make your own choices. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you Thank you for responding to the poll.
You're in the right choice. Corey's just delusional.
I mean, no. I won't go there. I was going to say 1 Super Bowl with this team in the last 15 years, but you know what? It's more than we have. I'm glad you responded to the poll. I just feel like when the Bears are better than the Packers, which will be very soon once A-Rod hangs it up,
No,
feel free to come over.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
Feel free to come over to the right side because, I mean, Justin Fields is going to take off and Aaron
Do
Rodgers is going to retire.
go over. Sparks is living in La La Land.
La La Land's going to become reality real soon when Rodgers retires.
La La Land, it will never become reality. The reality is Packers are going to find somebody, and they're going to win some more games and always defeat the Bears.
I mean, Jordan Love, your first-round pick's going to have to get traded soon. I'll just move on. We got one more. This is from Josh, as me and Johnny are about to rip each other's heads off. Josh, being from Illinois, I got to go from the Bears no matter what, which is funny because a lot of these ones that we read, right? Thank you, Josh Cavender, for the response, is it's people saying, hey, I'm from this area, so I have to go for this team. I'm from Wisconsin, and I go for the Bears. So that's a little messed up, but most of my family's from Illinois to explain that. So I think it's fair.
And let's talk about a guy from Wisconsin going for Illinois Bears, especially. How messed up is that, Needy? Don't follow his lead.
Yeah, he's a snake. He just wants you to come over to the dark side. I'm a representative for Wisconsin.
You're just delusional.
I'm a representative saying, you know what, you don't have to be from that state to like a different team.
What are you, the ambassador for the Bears in Wisconsin or something?
I'm the ambassador, man. It's just
like
great.
You the Bearsitter.
Ambassador.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah. The ambassador. You like go to meetings, shake people's hands, like, hi, I'm Cory.
Ambassador. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great nickname, ambassador.
Oh yeah, get it on a shirt.
Oh, we hope to have shirts of something soon. We're not going to reveal it yet.
Yeah, well, that's true. I won't tease that as much as I want to right now, but
let's talk about. We did get one comment, and that was from my uncle Jason Lang. Want to say hello and thank you for commenting on our podcast in week 1. And he asked us, what do we think about the Bills Mafia and the Bills? I'll let you start.
Yeah. I mean, look at what we saw week 1. I think they're the Super Bowl favorites coming into the season for a reason. I love the Bills. I think Josh Allen's the front runner for MVP right now in betting odds. Pretty good reason for that, too. He's one of the only quarterbacks in the league. I mean, talk about why was Cam Newton so good? Not only could he chuck the ball down the field and he had a tight spiral for a little bit, he could put his shoulder down and truck linebackers. Josh Allen's able to do that. They're starting to use Devin Singletary some more. They've got Zach Moss back there developing that run game. Top 5, I would even say top 3. I don't know how you feel about it, Johnny. Wide receiver and Stephon Diggs. And then you've got that defense that is absolutely lethal. They add Von Miller, one of the oldest guys on the team, and he gets 2 sacks last week. Imagine what it's just one of those situations. So many talented players as a defensive or offensive coordinator. You look at that field and you go, who do I even account for? I can't double anybody up. Bills are Super Bowl favorites right now. They're my Super Bowl favorites as well. They look so complete. Took out the champions in blowout fashion. Made them look absolutely silly. I'm very high on the Bills right now.
You're high on the Bills. Well, I'm high on something else.
I'm liking the Bills. I'm liking the Bills.
I am too. I do like the Bills, but I know Jason never likes to hear Super Bowl too early in the season. So I will say, Jason, I'm going to knock on wood for you right now, but I do like what the Bills showed week 1. They looked good. They looked sharp. They played. They conquered. They came and they conquered in Los Angeles. Not an easy place to play. Big stadium. Lot of fans, and you get those are, I would say, it's not as I wouldn't say that's as true of a fan base as maybe the Packers Bears fans.
It's a new market.
But yeah. But the Rams, they're a rowdy. They can get rowdy, the fans, in a while, and it's not an easy place to play, as I mentioned. So I think Josh Allen and that whole Bills team. I think Von Miller looked good, helping that defense out quite a bit, taking some attention away, and just trying to. I think I really do like what they're doing. I think this can be a productive team. The other team in the AFC that obviously I think a lot of us are seeing is the Chiefs. And then I think the Raiders are going to be scary too.
Yeah,
good defense.
Chargers too, man. I mean,
that was one of my dark horse teams is the Chargers because they got Bosa, Mack, and Derwin. it's gonna be a fun AFC. The AFC is looking really sharp. The NFC, you have a couple leaders, and it kind of falls off.
Yeah, right. Like the Rams, Bucks. We'll see what the Packers can do. I put them up there last year for sure. Yeah, we'll see.
Without a doubt. But moving on, we will keep on going. We want to talk about. We want to start having people send in things that
I like
grind
this
their
one.
gears.
Yep.
This will be a fun one. Something that bothers you in the NFL. What bothers you? So we want fans to comment. Just if you have our numbers, text us. We need some material for this. But what grinds your gears in the NFL? Sparks, I'll have you take your first shot at it because you have one related to the rivalry.
Yeah.
And I can't. My gears aren't grinded because I see the Bears. It's like, oh, it's the Bears.
You're like, oh yeah, no threat detected, right? SpongeBob reference. I think that Aaron Rodgers in general just grinds my gears. First, it was a discount double check that made me so mad, probably because he did it on us like 50, 60 times. Then the I own you last year. That one, look, you'll get to know me very quickly on this podcast. I'm trying not to be pessimistic, but like I would say I'm a realist. I'm not going to walk into this thing saying we're Super Bowl bound, saying we're playoff bound. That's stupid. Some people are fans like that, and I'm not going to call you stupid. You're believing in it. It's my goal to try and not set my expectations too high. Johnny's like, wow, this is kind of sad, right? Like, I can't relate to this.
We need a small violin playing.
I can't relate to this. So, yeah, then going into last year, I'm like, you know what? We're probably not going to be that good. We've got a whole ton of news, and now we have even more news. Then the I own you comment comes in, and that just set a fire in me. So I just don't like Aaron Rodgers. I don't like his mannerisms. I don't like how he treats us. We're rivals. I know it's supposed to happen, but I'm not supposed to like it. I don't have to like it. So, yeah, right now it's the I own you comment. That's living rent-free in my head.
Yeah, it sounds like Rodgers is living up there, too.
That was therapeutic, Johnny. I'm glad I got that out. I like this.
I'm sure you did. This is what it's all about, getting those therapeutic thoughts out and just letting the rant go for a little bit. Yep, it just feels like your mind has
blood
cleared.
Pressure is just
you're going to have a great physical the next time you go because you're like, I let it out on my podcast Across Enemy Lines with Johnny Sam.
I'm going to tell the doctor that.
And Cory Sparks. Yep. And you got to advertise it like that. On Across Enemy Lines with Cory Sparks and Johnny Sam.
And then I'll email him the link. I'm like, if you need any of that, you can let it
out.
Just
put it down in your information.
Yep.
As you're filling out the HIPAA form, be like, has there anything that's helped out your help relieve stress in your life? And then put down my rants on Across Enemy Lines.
You guys can get it out too. We've got a comment section. Let us know what grinds your gears. Go in the comment section right now. What makes you upset? And then we'll talk about it on here, and you'll feel so much better, just like I did. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a relief, and you're gonna feel 100%. But I'm gonna talk about mine.
Get it out.
I've had long hold on the Seahawks, and we talked about it last week. They're a lucky team. They've been a lucky team in the past. Yeah. We have the Bostic, the pass interception. Yep. Never forget that, right, Cory?
I love it.
The pass interception. They've had a lot of things go their ways, but that's not what bothers me. Yes, I don't like the Seahawks that much. I think they're a chippy franchise. They lost that chippiness over the years with the decline of the what was the Boom Legion of Boom.
Legion of Boom. Chancellor, Richard Sherman,
Bobby Wagner, and
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas, that's right.
There we go. I had him in my head. I'm like 29.
Yep, I knew it was an E, but I wanted to say Ed something, but I knew I was wrong.
Yeah, very good.
We're back at it. Well, the thing that grinds my gears is going over to the sidelines and seeing Pete Carroll chew his gum. That drives me nuts. It's annoying. He smacks it. I can't imagine what it's like in the QB's headset.
Oh gosh, just some ASMR. He's hearing. You're welcome for that if you're just listening to us and not watching it at all. We just blessed your eardrums.
And the other thing that bothers me is when the Cowboys are winning, they show Jerry Jones, but when they're losing, they don't show Jerry Jones. Have you ever noticed that?
It depends. I feel like if Aikman's in the booth, they do not do that. If Aikman's not in the booth and it's like a CBS broadcast or something, they'll sometimes do it. But you're right. If it's their own home broadcast or anything, or if Aikman's in there, I'm pretty sure he's like,
It's such a home crowd
don't
thing.
show
Like,
my yeah.
yep.
Do not show
if
my
he's
GM.
disappointed. Yep.
Or my
But-
owner. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. That's fair. Do you not like that he chews gum at all, or that he like unhinges his jaw while he's chewing?
Just him just sitting there,
Just macking away at it.
and he's
That's
got
valid.
the mic right in front of the headset, and I know for a fact that's got to be annoying if you're hearing that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Gino and Drew Lock are like, stop it, dude.
I said Russell's missing it.
Why do you think he left? Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He goes in the press conference. He chews gum in my ear.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm taking my talents over to Denver, where Nathaniel Hackett will not be doing that to me.
But yeah, he always puts a big wad of gum in, and then he's like chewing it constantly, and he's complaining with refs all the time. Let the game play. Stop. I don't want to see the coach chewing gum. Let's not see that. Matt LaFleur doesn't chew gum. He does just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Put the gum away. Save it for afterwards.
So you and my dad would get along. He hates Pete Carroll, but he is a Cowboys fan. Oh, Johnny's shocked. Yeah. But he hates Pete Carroll.
Your father's a Cowboys fan. You're a Bear fan. What
Yeah.
are your siblings?
My brother's a Bear fan, and my two other brothers are Packer fans. So 2 Packers, 2 Bears, and a Cowboy. Everything is just balanced.
Your mother?
Bears.
Bears.
Yep.
So it's pretty much split straight, but a Cowboy thrown in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like that's normal. Oh yeah. He's one of us
It's
now.
America's team, you know.
Oh, don't even start on that.
You don't like that?
It's total garbage. It's absolute garbage. Who in America likes the Cowboys besides Cowboys fans that live in, their little circle? But they also like Duke, the Yankees, and the Lakers. They're a very spread fan
It's
base.
just everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. They've definitely gotten some hate over the course of the last few years.
And rightfully so. They
Mhm.
post about Super Bowl
From
from
the 80s, right? Yeah. Like,
Yeah. And they were dominant in the 80s, but they haven't proven anything so far. It's been a lot of years. Jerry Jones still sitting up there, and he's pissed.
oh yeah. And now he doesn't have his quarterback, as we talked about before. So it's tough. I know Cowboys, we talk about them and the Vikings. If there's a win and they think they shouldn't have won it, immediately they're talking Super Bowl. They're talking this year's Super Bowl, not the 80s. They're saying this is the year. Vikings, I
we
get a
gotta
little
talk-
more because they've never had a Super Bowl. But
We got to talk about, the hashtag Cowboys of the North. That's for our Vikings
Yeah.
fans.
Johnny's trying to get that trending.
We're trying to get that trend over here, and Corey's on board with it.
Yeah, we got two supporters. If you support it, you go in the comment section and put that in there.
Put hashtag Cowboys of the North.
We'll get it going.
We'll get it going, and soon we'll have the little Viking logo after it too.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Just to make things fun. But that will just about do it for our show today. Another, awesome podcast. Corey, again, great job today.
You too, man.
We
We always
look-
shake hands at the end. We talked about that before.
Yep. So we'll do our little shake, but it's going to be a bitter weekend, and we're going to have to see who comes out on top. Any
Absolutely.
last thoughts, Corey?
Bear down.
Bear down.
You're like, that's not what I wanted to hear.
You mean a down bear?
Yeah. We might be seeing that. You guys are pretty angry, so we'll see.
All right. Well, that will just about wrap it up for Across Enemy Lines second episode. We hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for listening. For Corey Sparks, I'm Johnny Samp. Have a great week too, everybody.